Hello, and welcome back to Northern Lights. Well, where we had a fun day at the park with Aldrich. He's still a very cute lad. Am I just easy? I think I ask that every single part, but this game makes me think so. You know. Okay. Eventually, we made it back for the truck. Night already starting to fall as we set about the main road, heading deeper into the park. Before I knew it, night had set in, and I could see more people driving past us towards the entrance than there were heading deeper like us.
Keep back from the window. It gets a bit bumpy.
Where are we going now?
Patience, little otter. You just have to let things be a surprise sometimes.
Leaning back into the seat, I watched the tree line blur into darkness, the peaks of the sky above showcasing a dazzling sea of stars.
You'll see.
After taking a turn off the main road onto a narrow dirt path, Aldrich momentarily parked the truck, hurrying out to the gate to open a gate. That had been closing off the trail. After pulling through and closing the gate behind us, we were right onto a bumpy trail. It wasn't too bad at first. Mostly felt like driving over a washboard. A washboard. Oh, one of those thingies. Okay, my brain's not here. The deeper we went, the rockier it got, and the slower we had to drive to navigate the trickier terrain. By the time we reached the end, it was completely dark. The area was barely barely cleared out, and just enough for a ranger truck to turn around and head back.
Come on, it's close.
Though I was a little tired from our hike earlier, his enthusiasm kept me motivated. The shepherd grabbed a cooler from the bed of the truck, as well as a lantern that he just lit. He led me into the forests.
I think you'll like it. I fell in love with the park right here.
Only just here? But everything I've seen is so beautiful. Exiting the thick tree line, I could just barely make out the silhouette of a towering structure not far ahead, easily 3 stories high. The lamplight did light little to illuminate our path, as Aldrich led us up several flights of narrow wooden stairs.
I stayed here 1 week while I was in middle school. They had a junior ranger program. Ranger Thompson was assigned to this tower, and I'd never heard anyone speak with such enthusiasm about the park before.
As we reached... Oh, that is a nice background. That's real cute. Okay. As we reached the top, the lamplight shimmered off the windows of a small cabin, surrounded entirely by a narrow, boarded catwalk. I made my way around to the far side. My jaw dropped. I had only really gotten glimpses from town. The park's namesake, the outline of a singular, though massive mountain, its peaks looking as if it had been sliced open. The moonlight went through the sharp, jagged edges, lining the thousand-foot tear. I'm having troubles, guys. That's fine. And got scattered into faint rays that illuminated patches of the entire park. Aldrich stood beside me. He seemed to be watching my reaction, or rather than staring out at the beauty of the night and mountain.
That was my reaction the first night, too. Split Peak. Not really a clever name, but there's no other mountain like her.
The shepherd let the lamp down on a tiny patio table next to a metal folding chair, before leaning up against the railing, finally admiring the view, much as I was. It's like someone slid it open with a claw.
See? That's what I tell everyone. The ranger reckon it was some massive earthquake millions of years ago.
Is that what you think?
Sure. It makes the most sense, but you saw a piece of history of this place. Who's to say it's not just another moment of history, lost to the unforgiving progress of time? I wrote a poem about it after my week here.
Will you tell it to me? The shepherd's ears twitched, even flattening a little. He looked nervous in his face, but soon smiled.
For you? Anything. But first,
Aldrich took a step back and leaned against the wall of the cabin, cupping his paw in front of him. Without hesitation, I stepped onto them, allowing him to boost me up onto the roof, and I took a seat, on the edge, letting my legs hang down. Oh, that's cute. I would hate to be up there, I'll be honest. I hate being up high and not secure, normal bird things. He passed up the cooler and was quick to join me, sitting close as we watched the shimmering moonlight.
beneath the full moon's mystic light, Split Peak stands in grand display. Between the cragged walls, cryptic lore awaits. A portal to the night between the split, where shadows dance in pale moonlight. In moonlight's divinity, the mountain sings of ancient tales and hidden things. Split Peak's enchanting mystery is my dream, a place where secrets bloom. And in the hollow depths, I find my soul's true home.
Aldrich looked away nervously, rubbing the back of his head a bit. That's really beautiful, Aldrich.
You think so? The English teacher gave me a C for it.
The shepherd chuckled awkwardly, opening the cooler to grab a couple of cans of soda for us. Oh yeah, soda gang. Could have been beer or something, but no, wait, I guess it couldn't. How old are we? I guess maybe it couldn't have been beer. We're like just entering college. Yeah, okay, fine. Fine is what it is. If I was your teacher, I'd give you an A.
Thanks, Cody.
Taking a sip of the frosty soda while happily staring off at the mountain was a rather refreshing break after our adventurous day.
What do you think caused it?
Do you want the movie reason or personal opinion?
Personal. Tell me what you see, not what you want an audience to see.
Looking up and down the length of the split, I watched the sky slowly growing darker as thick clouds move in with a cold breeze. It's a witness mark.
What's that?
Say you were working on an engine, doesn't matter what kind, but you wanted to easily remember how far something is supposed to turn, or where it could come to a stop. You make a little scratch in the metal, so you can easily remember. That's a witness mark, a little note left by someone that reminds them of how something is supposed to go. The split in the mountain is a witness mark on a cosmic scale. The right spot for a piece in some complex machinery. Machination that we can't even fathom the meaning of to be.
That's a cool way of looking at it.
I swung my legs on the ceiling, staring at the sky, appreciating the sight once more before turning to Aldrich. I keep thinking about that little ghost town we went to. All the lives that it played host to. All these stories, joy, sorrow, good fortune, bad tidings.
Is that how you see most places?
I see it more in the empty ones. The absence of life sticks out to me, and I want to fill the void, bring it back. I want to film my next movie there. Been thinking about it, and I want to turn that little scene we did into something. Aldrich smiled, glancing over at me, and I smiled back at the shepherd, who happened to had filled the role of the sheriff quite well.
You gotta tell it from the sheriff's side, or the gang's.
Everyone tells the hero's side. I want to explore the villain, Tanner. You want to be one of my actors?
With your direction, I'll be glad to give it a try. Though, you might want to talk to Charlotte May, who lives up in the Bannock, right before it rained.
Right before it ran dry. Oh, okay. She's okay. Oh, she must be like
102. Most of the town got together last month for her birthday. She acts like she's still 20.
A sudden roar of thunder pierces through the night. Aldrich glances up at the now starless sky.
Damn, really thought that storm was supposed to start later. Cody, we gotta stay the night here, alright?
He spoke with a confident tone, filling out the role of a park ranger he longed to be.
I don't think we'll have enough time to get back to the main road before the rain. It's a bad idea to take the trails during a storm. Really prone to flash floods.
Having spent the night in the forest unplanned wasn't something I was thrilled about, though Aldrich's clear knowledge about the potential dangers of the landscape was a small comfort. Okay, I guess. Where are we gonna sleep?
Where do you think, silly?
Aldrich patted the roof of the watch house, and I glanced down at it. I had figured we would just sleep in his truck for the night. All right. Only politeness kept me from asking if it'd be okay just me to sleep in the truck. I figured there'd be some small cot inside the tower. Two people sharing it would be a tight fit. The shepherd hopped back down to the catwalk, and I passed the cooler down to him, dropping down alongside him afterwards.
Just get comfy. I'll go grab a couple of things from the truck. Get some wood.
It was surprisingly homey inside the tower. This is a little cute. Okay. Like a quaint one-room cabin at a campground. There was a small bed with an actual mattress, sheets, and blankets neatly folded alongside two pillows at the foot. There was a simple wooden stove, a compact old kitchen stove, probably hooked up to propane outside, a large table in the middle holding a map of the forest, and several pairs of binoculars sitting on a shelf under it. Aldrich walked back in soon after, carrying a small bundle of wood under one arm, and his hiking bag strapped to his back, along with a jug of water. He set everything down in one corner, looking over to me standing still and awkward near the bed. Every minute I stood there was another reminder that I was going to share a bed with him. Worrying about my pa would do if he found out, about what I would do if I couldn't keep my feelings in check. Aldrich knew I was gay, but the thought of him ending our friendship if I looked at him in that light was nerve-wracking. Still unsure if he or anyone would really want a gay otter for a friend, one that couldn't go 30 seconds without eyeing him like a piece of meat.
You alright?
What? Yeah, right as rain. I watched as Aldrich took a few logs and stacked them carefully in the wood stove, stuffing it with some kindling to get a fire going and start warming the cabin up to fight off the increasingly colder night. The rain was picking up fast, a gentle roar outside the cabin steadily growing louder, further isolating us in the space.
Are you hungry?
Yeah, actually, didn't know hiking would take so much out of me. The shepherd fished around in the cooler, while I remained frozen in the spot, afraid to bring anything up now that we were, in fact, going to bunk down for the night.
How about chili dogs?
You packed that much just to go hiking?
No, turkey dogs were on sale at the store, and I didn't want to go back out after we got back to town.
Yeah, I'd love one. The shepherd smiled at me. As handsome as the canine was, something about firelight always brought his look to a whole another level. He set a small pan and a pot on top of a gas stove, grabbing a can of chili from his hiking pack and dumping the contents into the pot.
Keep an eye on that, if you don't mind. Need to radio the base and let them know we're hunkering down for the night.
Stiffly, I walk over to the stove, grabbing a spoon to stir the pre-made chili, watching as the shepherd flipped on the radio.
Tower 13 to base. Are you reading me? Over.
Wait. 10-4, Tower. Wait, who is this? And why are you in 13? Over.
It's Aldrich. Storm came in sooner than expected. Unsafe to take the trail back until morning. Just hunkering down for the night. Everything will be back in order. Over.
All right, Aldrich. You got anyone with you? Over.
Yeah, Cody. Friend of mine just moved to town. Over.
Acknowledged and logged. Stay safe. There are supposed to be some fierce gusts tonight through the early AM hours. Over and out. Watching him talk on the radio like he's been doing it for years already was strangely appealing. How he took on the role with such confidence. Even with Liam and Tobin cheering me on, I had yet to feel that steady on my paws with my movie making. Oftentimes, I wonder if it was just a hobby for me, rather than a true career goal. Man, you aren't kidding. You really are a ranger already. The shepherd smiled again, cutting open the package of turkey dogs, laying a few of them on the empty hot pan.
All rangers are really nice. Honestly, they'll take all the help. But they'll take all the help they can get. I know hiring is down, and volunteers plummet after summer is over. They're probably glad to be able to more or less train me without having to pay me for it yet.
Free labor is hard to beat. I tilted my head and I mulled over what I just said, although my attention was increasingly drawn to the scent coming from the stove. You alright with them not paying you?
The way I see it, I've got a job waiting for me at the park I love, full of future coworkers I'm already familiar with. Sure, I don't get paid yet, but the money isn't why I want to go here to work here. It's the lifestyle, the people, all the visitors, the nature, and the freedom.
The shepherd chuckled a little, stirring the pot of chili as it warmed on the stove. He was looking over the maps on the table in the middle of the room, a blissful smile on his face, standing a few inches taller. When you put it like that, reckon it's nice knowing it's here waiting for you. As Aldrich kept cooking dinner for us, I glanced over to the unmade bed again. It's really wasn't meant for two people, but would work with a squeeze, slowly working up the courage to ask a stupid question. I was just wondering, where should I sleep?
What do you mean? The bed is right there. We can share it, no problem.
My whiskers hung heavy. Glancing at the floor, my gut twisting as I heard a faint voice in my head. I'm not supposed to share a bed, especially with, another guy.
What? Why?
My pa said if he ever caught me sharing a bed with a guy again, even my friends, he'd beat me bloody next time. Aldrich tensed up, and the look of anger returning to his face, not at me, but at my father, and the way he raised me.
Your dad isn't here, Cody. We're in the middle of the woods, thousands of miles away. You didn't need to be scared of him.
I know, but what if he finds out?
Well,
Okay, Aldrich. Calm down. Okay? Okay. Aldrich set a spatula down, walking over and wrapping his arms around me, pulling me into a firm hug, his heartbeat strong in my ears.
listen, Cody. Even if your dad ever cared enough to come up here, whether to apologize or try to punish you, I won't let you be alone in that matter, and I'm certainly not going to let that nutcase lay another finger on you. I'll knock his ass to the ground before he even had a chance.
His fingers traced gentle circles over my back as he kept me close, the soft touch and firm, protective words leading to a few tears rolling down my maw. Tobin and Liam always had my back growing up, but none of us had the strength to stop the punishments. Aldrich and I only just rekindled our friendship, and it already sounded like he was more than willing to go to jail if it meant saving me from my father.
The only thing you have to worry about here is getting good grades in college.
That's so annoying, though. This... college assignments always felt real dumb. Or at least the majority of them. The home assignments I didn't like. The, presentations I always thought were cool. They were really fun. I had no problem with those, But it's like, oh, anytime they were like, do this 10-page paper, I just wanted to, stab them.
For everything else, we'll tackle it together, all right?
I gently nod, my head nudging up and down his chest, and not wanting to speak as I feared he would hear my voice crack. Oh, terrible, terrible. Anyway, I think I will end the part here, everyone. So I will see you guys around.